Welcome back to the Career Blueprint. If your resume changes jobs more often than your favorite Netflix show gets canceled, we need to talk. Job hopping. Sometimes it's a badge of ambition. Other times, a red flag for employers. The advice is all over the place. Stay loyal, chase the money, or something in between. Today, we'll break down what job hopping truly means now, why people do it, and what employers really think. We'll look at the risks and rewards, so you can make smarter moves that won't haunt your future. Before you hit easy apply again, stick around. We're unpacking when it makes sense to move, and when it's smarter to stay put. It's not about scaring you into staying, but about building a career that's intentional and sustainable. Really quickly before we get started, I'd like to say thanks for being here, and remind you that we release new content frequently on this channel. So if you enjoy our videos, consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell. It's free for you, and it helps us get more folks to see our videos. Okay, let's dive deep into the hidden costs of job hopping. Let's define job hopping. What does it really mean to be labeled a job hopper in today's professional landscape? In HR, it means changing jobs every couple of years or less. We're talking about a relatively short period of time spent at each company, especially if it's a pattern. A consistent history of brief employment tenures raises eyebrows. One short stint? Not a big deal. Everyone has that one job that just wasn't the right fit. But several in a row. That's when the job hopper label sticks. It becomes a part of your professional narrative. It's about trends, not one-offs. Recruiters and hiring managers are looking for consistency, or at least a reasonable explanation for any deviations. Are you moving up, or just moving around? Is there a clear trajectory to your career path, or does it seem like you're simply bouncing from one opportunity to the next without a clear goal? Strategic moves for growth are different from jumping ship every year for the same role. Are you actually progressing in your career, or simply repeating the same experience in different locations? Context matters. Are you climbing or just collecting company names? Is your resume a testament to your growth and development, or simply a list of places you've been? The definition has shifted. 3 to 5 years at a job is now considered solid. What was once seen as a short tenure is now viewed as a reasonable amount of time to contribute and grow within a company. Early in your career, some exploration is normal. It's understandable to try different roles and industries to find your niche. But if you're still hopping mid-career, it looks less like learning and more like restlessness. It can suggest a lack of commitment or an inability to find long-term satisfaction. Think of your career as a story. If every chapter is short and ends abruptly, it's hard for employers to see your growth. They want to see a narrative of progression and development. Job hopping is about perception. Frequent short-term roles without clear progress signal risk. It can make employers hesitant to invest in your long-term development. We're not demonizing change. We're analyzing the pattern and what it communicates. What story does your job history tell? Employers want to see upward movement and skill building, not just a list of short stays. They want to know that you're capable of learning, growing, and contributing to a company over time. So as we move forward, remember, it's not about leaving a job, but about the story your resume tells. Are you evolving or just moving? That's what matters most. It's about the overall picture you present to potential employers. Keep this in mind as we dig deeper. Let's explore the underlying reasons behind job hopping. Let's look at why people actually jump ship. What are the driving forces that lead individuals to frequently change jobs, and what that means for your career? Understanding the implications of job hopping is crucial for making informed decisions about your professional future. Why do people job hop? What are the driving forces behind the decision to leave one job for another, sometimes quite frequently? It's a question that both employers and employees are constantly grappling with in today's dynamic job market. It's not just about chasing a bigger paycheck, although that's certainly a factor for many. Sure, switching companies can mean a 15-20% raise, hard to ignore when bills are piling up and financial pressures are mounting. But escaping a toxic workplace is just as common, if not more so. The impact of a negative work environment can be profound. No one should stay where their mental health suffers. It's simply not worth the long-term damage. Lack of growth is another big reason. Feeling stagnant in a role can be incredibly demotivating. If you're not learning or advancing, if your skills aren't being challenged, it's natural to look elsewhere for opportunities that will help you develop and progress. Sometimes the job just isn't what you expected. The reality of the role doesn't match the initial promises, or you realize it's not a good fit for your skills, your personality, or your long-term goals. Work-life balance matters too. It's a critical component of overall well-being. People leave for flexibility, remote work, or simply to reclaim their time and have more control over their schedule. And if your company is unstable, layoffs, bad leadership, constant change, it's smart to look for a lifeboat and secure your future elsewhere. These are all valid reasons to move on and seek out better opportunities. The issue isn't necessarily why you leave, but how often you do it. A series of short stints, even for good reasons, can add up to a risky pattern in the eyes of potential employers. Each jump might make sense in the moment, feel like the right decision at the time, but over time, it can hurt your long-term prospects and damage your professional reputation. It's a balancing act, short-term gains versus long-term reputation and career stability. So before you leap, ask if the move fits your bigger career story, your overall career trajectory. Are you building a solid foundation, or just bouncing from one thing to the next without a clear direction? That's the tightrope every job hopper walks, the constant need to weigh the pros and cons. Next, let's talk about the hidden costs, the less obvious downsides you might not see at first glance when considering a job change. Because every move, no matter how appealing, has a price, both tangible and intangible. Let's break those down and examine them more closely. That shiny new offer? It comes with hidden costs. First, employers may question your loyalty. If you leave every 18 months, why should they invest in you? This can block you from senior roles. Companies want leaders who stick around. Short stays mean you rarely become a true expert or see projects through. Leadership roles go to those with deep knowledge and proven commitment. You might get stuck in lateral moves, never breaking into management. Your network can suffer too. Real connections are built over time, not just LinkedIn ads. Quick exits mean fewer mentors and allies who will vouch for you later. And don't forget the personal toll. Ramping up at a new job is stressful and exhausting. If you're always the new person, you spend more time learning the ropes than making an impact. The result? Less career momentum, more burnout. The immediate benefits, money, title, are tempting, but the long-term costs are real. Every jump shapes your reputation, your expertise, and your network. So before you accept that offer, weigh both sides. Is this move worth the trade-off? Make sure you're not sacrificing your future for a quick win. Next, let's see how employers really view job hopping. Because perception is everything. Imagine you're a hiring manager with a stack of resumes, a pattern of short stints. That's an easy filter for no. The first assumption, lack of commitment. Will you leave as soon as something shinier comes along? Second, performance concerns. Are you jumping before being pushed out? Third, culture fit. If you haven't stuck anywhere, maybe you're the problem. Managers want stable teams, not constant turnover. Bringing in a job hopper can disrupt morale and productivity. They'll also question your motivation. Are you here for the mission or just the paycheck? You're not automatically disqualified, but you start from a defensive position. You'll need to explain your moves and prove this time is different. Employers see job hoppers as risky bets. If there's a candidate with similar skills and a steadier history, they'll likely choose the safer option. It's not personal. It's business. So, when is job hopping justified and when is it risky? Leaving a toxic workplace or for a major life event? Totally valid. Jumping for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? That's ambition, not restlessness. But leaving for a small raise or minor annoyances? That can look flaky. A string of lateral moves with no clear growth? That's a red flag. The real danger is multiple short stints with no story to connect them. Employers want to see intention, not excuses. Your career narrative should show growth, not just escape. Before you move, ask, is this a proactive step forward or just running from discomfort? Be honest about your motivations. If you can't explain your moves with a clear, compelling story, it's time to rethink. The line between justified and risky is all about the why and your ability to own it. Make every move part of a bigger plan. That's how you build credibility. Want to avoid the potential pitfalls of being labeled a job hopper? It's a concern many professionals share. Here's how to navigate your career strategically. Aim to stay at each job, building a solid foundation for at least 2 years. This is a good benchmark to aim for. It shows stability to potential employers and lets you make a real impact, contributing meaningfully to the company's goals. Focus on results, showcasing your accomplishments, not just time served. It's about what you achieve, not just how long you were there. Quantify your achievements. Use numbers and data to illustrate your impact. Show you deliver value fast. Highlight your ability to contribute quickly and effectively. When you do leave a position, have a clear positive story to tell about your experience for each move. Explain your reasoning and what you gained. Connect the dots, creating a cohesive narrative for your interviewer. Make it easy for them to understand your career path. Don't badmouth past employers. It reflects poorly on you. Keep it professional and respectful and forward-looking. Focus on your future goals and aspirations. Be honest with yourself about your motivations and career goals. If your story sounds flimsy or unconvincing even to you, rethink your reasons. Dig deeper and find more compelling explanations. Consider alternatives. Explore different avenues for career growth, freelance opportunities, contract work arrangements, or side projects that align with your interests and skills can build skills and expand your experience without another short stint on your resume. Research new opportunities thoroughly. Don't jump impulsively from one bad fit to another. Take your time to find the right match. Talk to current and former employees to get an inside perspective before accepting an offer. Understand the company culture and expectations. Make each move in your career a deliberate step, carefully considered, not a reaction to a temporary situation. Hiring managers want to see a pattern of intent and growth, demonstrating your commitment to professional development, not just a string of jobs with no clear connection. Build a career story that showcases your skills and experience, that makes sense, a logical progression, one where every chapter builds upon the last, adds up to a compelling narrative. Strategic moves, demonstrating foresight, strong results, showcasing your impact, and a clear narrative that ties it all together will set you apart from other candidates. It's not about never leaving a job. It's about making sure each move counts towards your long-term goals. Be proactive in managing your career, not reactive to external pressures. That's how you win in the long game of career development. Next, let's talk about what that long game truly looks like and how to plan for it. Because your career path is a marathon of continuous learning and growth, not a sprint to immediate success. So what's the verdict? Job hopping isn't evil, but it's not a free pass. It's a tool. Use it wisely, or it can backfire. Be intentional. Every move should fit your bigger strategy, not just your mood. Build a story where each chapter adds to your growth. Think long-term, not just quick wins. The modern career is like chess. Sometimes you move sideways to set up a win. But random moves, that's how you lose. Before you jump, ask, does this fit my long-term goals? Am I running from a problem or toward an opportunity? If you've ever updated your LinkedIn more than your wardrobe, hit like and subscribe for smarter career tips. Until next time, this is the Career Blueprint. See you in the next video.